Okay, let us talk about conic sections. So, under the conic section in general, we have 4 sections. And that is your square, your circle, your ellipse, your parabola, and your hyperbola. So, tinatawag siyang conic section kasi cross-section siya of a cone or a cone, ito, yan o, 3-dimensional cone ito. Now, pag nagpass ka kasi ng different planes, depende sa angle of inclination, na makakabuo ka ng mga conic sections. So, halimbawa, meron kang section na ganyan. This is the front view of it. So, nag-pass through ka ng plane mo dito, which is directly horizontal yan siya na nagpa-pass through. Circle ang mabubuo natin dyan. And if iti-tilt mo siya ng kaunti, no, medyo paslant na siya ngayon yung plane, ellipse ang mabubuo natin. And then, ipa-tilt mo siya a little further pa talaga kung saan dadaan siya ngayon sa ating vertical axis. Okay. Tapos, ayan, ganyan yung mangyayari sa kanya. Parabola naman yung mabubuo. And then, kung vertically mo siya ipapadaan, which is parallel siya to our vertical axis, hyperbola ang mabubuo. So, to give you a more detailed look, I will show you this picture. Ito yung mangyayari sa kanya. So, we have a 3D cone na magpapass through ka ng plane sa kanya. You have a circle, an ellipse, a parabola, and an hyperbola here. Kaya siya tinawag na conic section. Sections of a cone. So, the first thing that we need to discuss for today is our circle. And this is one of the very famous and the easiest to understand na conic section. Kasi ang circle is a very familiar figure sa ating lahat. Bilog. Okay? So, what are the parts of this circle? And later we will have example problems natin to answer different problems about circle. So, say we have here a Cartesian coordinate system. Ayan. And then, maglagay tayo ngayon ng bilog. Urong natin ang bilog dito somewhere. Ganyan. That's our circle. And let's talk about the parts of that circle. Ano bang meron sa circle na to? Ayan. Meron tayong equation of the circle na tinatawag. No? It is in the form of x minus h squared and plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. Alright? So, ano ba tong mga variables na nakikita natin dyan? Ang hk natin is the center of the circle. Okay? Center is at hk. And syempre, ang r natin is the radius of the circle. Right? This is the standard equation of our circle. Standard equation. Alright? So, ganun lang ang kailangan natin tandaan for circle. And, ang general equation niya would look like this. X squared plus y squared plus dx plus e y plus f is equal to 0. This one is the general equation. So, may mga problems kasi tayo na nasosolve natin siya using this general equation. Tapos, yung iba naman, dun sa standard equation, madali siyang isolve using ganitong form ng ating equation. So, kailangan mo lang tandaan for circle is, ang x and y mo, pareho ang kanilang numerical coefficient. No? X and y, pareho ang kanilang numerical coefficient, which is 1. Okay? Oh, yan. Ayan. Sige, mag-sample problem tayo sa circle para malaman nyo kung ano yung pwede natin ma-encounter sa ganitong type of topic. Ayan, we have our problem. Find the equation of the center, find the equation of the circle whose center is 2, negative 3, and radius is 3. Very easy. Equation of the circle with center that is 2, negative 3, and you have your radius equal to 3. So, kaka-explain ko lang, no, ang gagamitin mong formula dyan is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. So, direct substitution lang pag binigyan ka na ng center and radius. Ganito lang naman talaga usually yung tanong niya for circle, no? Equations of the circle lang. Or vice versa. Binigyan ka ng equation, you need to have the center and the radius to be known. So, for this problem, x minus h natin is this one, 2 squared, plus y natin is, k natin pala is negative 3. Okay, equal to r squared, that is 3 squared. So, expand na lang natin siya ngayon. This would be x squared minus 4x plus 4. I'm sorry, nakalimutan ko yung square dito. Plus, this would become positive na, di ba? Okay, this one is y squared plus 6y plus 9 is equal to 9. Kapag samahin natin, you have x squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 6y, 4, and then 9, tapos yung negative 9, positive 9 na to, ilipat natin onto the other side, so that gives us 4 na lang, equal to 0. So this is the equation of our circle with center 2, comma negative 3, and radius r equals 3. Find the equation of the circle that passes through this 3 points, 2, 3, 3, 4, and negative 1, 2. So you have 2, 3, another one is 3, 4, and then we also have negative 1, 2. We need to find the equation of the circle that passes through these 3 points. So since we cannot use our standard form, yung in the form of the center and the radius, kasi wala namang binigay na center and radius, so basically what you will use here is the general form, x squared plus y squared plus dx plus ey plus f is equal to 0. And if this is the general form, and kung lahat ng points na to dumadaan dito sa equation of the circle, or lahat sila part of the circle, di ibig sabihin, pag sinubstitute mo yung values ng x and y dito, that should give you that should be equal to 0. So what you need to do is substitute all the points here, and you will get 3 equations. For the 3 equations, you will get D, E, and F. Okay, we know the game plan now, so let's do that. So, beginning at our 2, 3 muna, this would be 4 plus 9 plus 2D. Okay, sinasubstitute ko lang. 2x squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 2 ang x plus 3e plus f equal to 0. Arrange ko muna 2d plus 3e plus f equal to negative 13. That is our equation 1. And then for equation 2, we need to use the point 3, 4. That would be 9 plus 16 plus 3d plus 4e plus f is equal to 0. Moving it or arranging it properly, 3d plus 4e plus f is equal to negative 25. This is our equation 2. And for our equation 3, we have negative 1 and 2. So that would be 1 squared, 1 plus 4 minus d plus 2e plus f is equal to 0. Rearranging, that would be negative d plus 2e plus f is equal to negative 5. That would be your third equation. Clear lang ba? Okay, so kung clear tayo dyan, meron tayong tatlong equation. No, kung meron kang calculator that can solve 3 equations, 3 unknowns, then well and good. Kasi mas magiging mabilis ang computation natin doon. But if not, ang gagawin natin is the basic computation or the basic solution in getting D, E, and F. So what we need to do first is yung equation 1, minusan natin siya ng equation 2. I am doing that one to eliminate some variables. So, isa-subtract natin siya. Let me write the equations here. You have 2D plus 3E plus F is equal to negative 13. Minus natin ngayon si 3D plus 4E plus F is equal to negative 25. Okay, subtracting this 2 minus 3 is negative D, plus 3 minus 4 is negative E, F minus F is 0, and then you have negative 13 minus negative 25, that is 12. So now, na-reduce natin siya into 2 variables. Okay? So, pwede ko siguro i-express si D in terms of E. No? So, that negative D is equal to 12 plus E. Or D is equal to negative 12 minus E. Okay ko muna dyan. Then, I will write a line here to show you the next part naman. Next naman gawin natin is yung 2, i-minus naman natin kay 3. Okay? Ang 2, equation 2 natin is 3D plus 4E plus F is equal to negative 25. Then, isasubtract natin ngayon si negative D plus 4E plus F is equal to negative 5. Subtracting that would give us negative 3 minus negative D, at positive 3D minus negative D, that would be 4D. Ito naman would be 0. Tama? 0E. Ito naman is 0F. Or I'll not write it anymore na lang. Okay, teka lang. This is 2 pala, no? Negative D plus 2E. I'm sorry. So, that would be 4D plus 2E pa. Tapos yung F wala na. And this is negative 25 plus 5. That would be negative 20. Okay? Rearrange lang natin ng kaunti. What we have here is... Teka lang. Ilagay ko na lang itong number 4. Number 4 to, di ba? Tapos, lagay ko number 5 ito. So, this is your equation 5. So, ipasok natin dito ngayon yung 4th equation. Ayan. So, that ang D natin, i-replace natin siya ngayon. Ang D natin would be negative 12 minus E. Galing yan dito. Plus 2E is equal to negative 20. Yan, para makakompute tayo. Kanina nag-elimination tayo. This time, nagsasubstitution na tayo ng value. So, this would be negative 48 minus 4E plus 2E. Negative 20. So, add natin to ngayon. This would be negative 2E. And this is negative 20. Tapos, positive 48, di ba? Okay, so that would be 28. 28. So, ang E natin is therefore equal to negative 14. Tama tayo na? O, negative 14 ang value ng ating E. So, kung negative 14 ang E, what are the other values? Okay, i-erase ko muna siya dito sa taas siguro, no? Or ano ba? Erase natin siya dito para meron tayong mga space konti. E is negative 14, edi ibalik natin siya kay equation 4. So, ang D daw natin from equation 4 is negative 12 minus your E na negative 14. So, that would give you 12 plus 14, 2. So, the value of D is equal to 2. And pili lang tayo ng kahit anong letters, kahit anong equation from equation 1, 2, and 3 na pwede nating pag-substitutan. Let's have it as equation 3. Okay? We have here a negative D, which is negative of this 2, plus 2 times your E na negative 14, plus F, which is unknown pa, equal to negative 5. So, help me compute for F. We have negative 2 on this side, minus 28 pa. So, that's negative 30. Ilipat natin yon sa other side. So, that's 5 minus the negative 30. Ang E natin is equal to 20. Ang F natin is equal to 25. So, let me summarize it. D is 2, E is negative 14, and F is 25. So, that our final answer, erase ko na to dito. Our final answer is x squared plus y squared plus 2x, that's dx, minus 14y plus 25 is equal to 0. Alright? So, ayan. Pwede mo din siya isulat into standard form. From general form to standard form, you will use the principle of completing the square. So, paano mo siya gawin? You have x squared plus 2x plus a certain value here, plus y squared minus 14y plus a certain value here is equal to negative 25. O, nilipat ko siya on the other side. Plus, kung ano yung dinagdag mong una, plus ano pa yung dinagdag mong ikalawa dyan. Para kung mag-add ka on one side, and then, kailangan mag-add ka din on the other side para ma-preserve mo yung equation na, equation ng circle mo. Kumbaga pa, wala siyang pinagbago dapat. So, that's the principle of completing the square. And how do we get that one? Ano ba yung mga i-add mo sa kanila? So, you have x squared plus 2x. Ang i-add mo dito is itong gitna, 2 divided by 2. Tapos, isa-square mo yon. Okay? B over 2. Ganito kasi yung nilalagay natin dito. Ilagay ko ha. B over 2 squared. So, kung ano to, divide mo by 2, that's 1. Isa-square mo yun. 1 ang i-add mo dyan to complete the square. Para maging perfect square siya. You have 1 squared minus 14y. O ito naman is divide mo siya by 2, that's negative 7. Tapos isa-square mo siya, 49 yon. So dito meron kang negative 25. Plus mo yung 1 na inad mo dito, tapos i-plus mo din yung 49. Okay? So ano ma to? This would be x plus 1 squared. Tapos, ito naman is y minus 7 squared. Perfect square na sila ngayon. Is equal to, on the other side, ilan yung magiging total? Negative 25 plus 1 plus 49. So, 25 ang nandito sa kabilang side. Alright? So, ang center mo nito is negative 1, 7. Ang radius mo naman is 5 units. Pinakita ko lang yan para at least marunong kayo from general form into this standard form. Tapos malolocate mo ulit yung center and yung radius. But, going back to our problem, ito lang is ang final answer na. Okay? Pwedeng ganyan na makita mo or sa choices, baka ganito ang makita mo. Both are correct naman na mga values of the equation of the line. So that's it for circle. Dalawang mga scenario na pwede mong paikot-ikutin, and for as long as you know the basics, you would know how to compute it. Okay, we have another conic section. This is the parabola. A parabola is a conic section or a locus of points wherein all the points would be equidistant to the directrix and to the focus. So, ang parabola natin, posibleng iba-iba yung opening niya. Let's say, ito yung quadrant natin. May parabola tayo that opens upward. Meron ding opens downward. Opens to the side, to the right. Also opens to the side to the left. So, malalaman mo sino yung squared dyan. Depende sa kung nasan siya nakabukas. So, in this case, since dalawang x values kada y, x squared ang meron ka dito. X squared is equal to, let's just say, 4ay. Ito naman is x squared negative 4ay. This one is y squared 4ax. And this one is y squared negative 4ax. So, in general, ganun yung magiging itsura niya. So, say we have here a parabola na ganitong itsura, and the equation would be in the form of x minus h squared is equal to 4ay minus k. So, ganito yung usual na formula niya in full. And then, ang hk natin is yung vertex of the parabola. That's in the form h, k. Tapos, meron tayong tinatawag na directrix. Ito yung line na yon. Yan. Ito naman is the point we call our focus. Alright? So, ang sabi, magiging parabola daw siya pag ang distance between the focus, from a certain point sa parabola ha, distance from that point to the focus and distance from that point to the directrix ay always equal. So, itong distance na to at distance na to equal. In fact, we denote that with letter A. Yan mismo yung vertical distance. So, let's just consider this point naman sa parabola. Ang sabi daw, okay, so considering this parabola daw, itong point daw na to, papunta dyan, pareho daw yung distance niya, papunta this line. Hindi lang masyadong obvious sa drawing ko, pero ganun yung characteristic ng isang parabola. From the focus to the point on the graph of parabola to the directrix, pareho daw yung distance na yun. Alright? So, yun yun. We denote this with variable a, at ito yung a na yan na nakikita natin sa equation. Tapos, itong linya na to na that passes through your focus, we call this one naman our latus rectum. Alright? Latus rectum. Or LR. For LR ng isang parabola, ang kanyang length is equal to 4a. Okay? 4a daw ang distance na to dito. So, yun yung mga kailangan natin na principles for parabola. And let's move to our example problems. Okay, given this parabola, y squared minus 6x plus 2y plus 17 equals 0, determine the focus and the latus rectum. So, the first thing that we need to do is to express this one into the standard form. So, that would be y squared plus 2y, okay, plus a certain value to complete the square. And then we move the 6x into the other side. This would be 6x plus 17. Alright? Minus 17, I'm sorry. This would be minus 17. And to complete this square, again, that's negative b over 2 or b over 2 tapos quantity square. So, 2 divided by 2, we need to add 1 here. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1. So, this is minus 17. Tapos, we need to add 1 here as well. So, that would give us, this would be a perfect square now. Y plus 1 squared Tapos, on this side, this would be 6x minus 16. Right? And so, we need to remove this, the coefficient of x. So, this would give us 6x minus 16 over 6. Okay, and this is y plus 1 squared. 6x, to simplify this one, this is 8 over 3. Right? 8 over 3. And this is y plus 1 squared. So, let's determine first the vertex HK. Okay? Ang vertex HK natin, H is nasa X. So, that would be 8/3. And our Y coordinate is -1. Alright? So, now, pwede na natin siyang i-drawing. So, pag dinraw natin siya ngayon, ayan. Dinraw natin siya, since ang meron tayo dito is y squared. So, ibig sabihin, nandun tayo now, facing to the right tayo. Y squared. Tapos, meron tayong vertex na 8/3 kasi is 2.66. So, let's just have this as 1, 2, 3. So, 2.66. Andito siya banda. Oh, -1. 8/3, -1 pala. Sorry. So, this is 1, 2. So, 8/3 is around here, -1 is around here. So, andito ang magiging vertex ng ating parabola. And rough drawing niya would be like this. Yan, concave or open to the right siya. So, this defines your y plus 1 squared is equal to 6x minus 8 over 3. Take note, ang standard form niya, if ganito yung itsura, di ba, y minus k squared is equal to 6 or 4a x minus h. And kanina, I told you na yung focus natin is nandito sa portion na to, no, nasa loob siya, kung concave, saan yung concavity ng ating graph, nasa loob yung focus. And from the vertex, your focus is at a distance. Okay, at a distance yan. And how do we get a? From our drawing here, we have 4a as a standard, itsura ng ating standard equation. 4a daw yung equivalent nung nasa labas. And ang 4a natin for this equation is 6. Therefore, the value of a is 6 over 4. And that is, how much is 6 over 4? 3 halves. 3 halves, or that's 1.5. So, if itong point na to is defined by 8/3 -1, okay, how could we determine the focus? Surely, ang focus natin, ano din siya, di ba? -1 din ang kanyang magiging y coordinate kasi magmo-move ka lang naman to the right. So, meron tayong, ilan yan? 8/3 plus a distance. No, plus a distance tayo kasi we are moving to the right. So, basically, that is 8/3 plus our 1.5 na distance. So, i-add lang natin si 8/3 plus 1.5 natin. That would give us 25 over 6. So, your focus is at 25 over 6, comma, -1 distance. Alright? Andyan si focus. And next question is, what is determine the latus rectum or determine the length of the latus rectum. So, si latus rectum natin, nandito siya, no? Ayan, ang latus rectum ng parabola. That entire length, and that is equal to your 4a. Latus rectum length is 4a. That is equal to 6. Ayan. Okay? Ayan lang yung problem natin for parabola. Okay, moving forward to our remaining two conic sections. We have the ellipse and the hyperbola, which kanina nakita nyo naman paano sila na-form in the conic section, no? We cut a plane na nakaslant kaunti for ellipse and naka-vertical naman for hyperbola. We will be able to encounter a new term na tinatawag na eccentricity, or that is denoted by small letter e. So, si eccentricity, ginagamit to natin sa design ng mga subjects. No? So, this is the distance between the centroid and the point of application of the load. But for analytic geometry, eccentricity is a measure of how uncircular a conic section is. No? Parang kino-compare natin siya sa bilog. So, paano natin siya malalaman? Ito na lang yung palagi kong ginagamit na parang, anong tawag nito? Ginagamit ko na drawing para madali kong matandaan ano yung mga eccentricity. Kasi minsan, kino-compute mo lang yung eccentricity, pwede mo na malaman what type of conic section ang meron ka with respect to the eccentricity values nila. So, a measure of how circular daw ang ating sections. Uncircular ang ating sections. Ayan. So, medyo exaggerated yung drawing natin dito para at least hindi rin siya makalimutan. This is very distorted. Okay, ganyan na lang. Lagyan ko ng circle dito. So, bear with my drawings, but I hope it could help you. Eccentricity ng circle, this one is bilog. This one is ellipse. Parabola. And this two is a hyperbola, no? Kasi dalawa naman talaga yung side ng hyperbola natin palagi. And this one is your straight line. So, parang nasa hierarchy sila of how uncircular a certain figure is. Siyempre, ang circle is perfectly circular yan. So, ang eccentricity niya is 0. For ellipse naman, ang eccentricity niya is between 0 to 1. For parabola, eccentricity is exactly equal to 1. And for hyperbola, eccentricity is greater than 1. For straight line, eccentricity natin is infinite. This is very far from being circle. So, that is very uncircular. E is equal to infinity. Alright? So, ngayon, itong eccentricity na to, gagamitin natin for ellipse and hyperbola ng mga computations. So, iba-iba yung pwede niyang paggamitin, and I will show you using our problem solving sa dalawang remaining conic section. So, this is an ellipse. This is a conic section with an eccentricity na between 0 to 1. Okay? So, paano natin malalaman, ano ba ang definition ng ellipse in general? So, ang ellipse natin is parang oval shape siya, and meron tayong vertices. These are the vertices that we have. Okay, this is the main vertex of this ellipse kasi nandito yung major axis natin. Okay, sulatan ko ng mga names para hindi kayo malito. Major axis is the longer axis. And the ends of the major axis, we call that our vertex. No, in general, ito yung vertex na tatanong niya. Ito naman, co-vertex ang tawag. Vertex pa din siya, pero hindi siya yung kung saan yung major axis. No? Nasa minor axis naman natin ang co-vertex. Okay? Ang focus natin is nasa distance na to. That's your focus F. And let's say then F1 and F2. Center natin is, syempre, nasa gitna. Let's call that C. And then, ang ellipse daw, if meron daw tayong certain point dito, yan, and that point is moving. So, ellipse is a locus of point kung saan, no, kung mag-move na yung point na yan at different paths, itong distance na to, plus itong distance na to, that is PF1 na segment, plus PF2 na segment, palagi daw constant ang value na yan. Constant. So, if that happens, ang mangyayari is, meron tayong isang ellipse. So, ano ba yung parts ng ating ellipse? half of the major axis, we call that the semi-major axis. This is at distance A. Ito yun. Yan, paano pa yung isulat? Ito na lang, oh, distance A ito. Okay? Yan si A, and ang distance natin from focus to the center, ito naman yan, towards this one, we call that our distance C. And this one here, ang semi-minor axis natin at distance B yan. So, makakabuo tayo ng Pythagorean Theorem dito kung saan ang A squared mo is equal to B squared plus C squared. Yan yun. For ellipse ito ha. Kaya iba naman yung case natin for hyperbola. But this one is for ellipse. So, ang latus rectum natin, it passes through our focus. Ayan, latus rectum 1, and then we have latus rectum 2, but pareho yung distance nila, no? LR2, and this one is our LR1. Okay, ano pa ba ang importante dito? Ayan na. So, ang latus rectum is parallel yan sa directrix. Ang directrix natin is kung andito yung latus rectum, parallel siya dapat. Ito yung directrix natin. Directrix. This distance here is our distance D. Okay? Ang latus rectum distance natin, we denote that with letter L. Latus rectum length. Letter L. Alright. So, defined na lahat ang ating mga parts of the ellipse. And magsosolve tayo ng mga problems ngayon. So, for ellipse, ang formula na tinatandaan ko lang talaga dito is syempre ito, no, the very basic Pythagorean Theorem. And ang concept ng kanyang eccentricity na 0 to 1 siya. Tapos, itong set na to ng formula ang hindi ko kinakalimutan when solving for conic sections. You have, hindi ko na siya i-derive isa-isa ha, because this is a review subject and not a basic analytic geometry. So, ayan. Yan. Yan yung tinatandaan kong formula. D times E is equal to A. L times A is equal to 2B squared. E times A is equal to C. So, as I can remember, tinuruan kami nito nung teacher ko sa review. Ayan, parang mnemonics namin siya sa review class ko before when I was taking the boards. And sabi is, dila ng dalawang babae-yak. Dila ng dalawang babae-yak. So, only Filipino students could understand that one kasi Tagalog yun, diba? But, nonetheless, pwede nyo na siyang tandaan ng ganyan. So, ikot-ikutin na lang natin yung mga formula na yan para hindi mo tandaan lahat talaga ng formula for this one. Kasi ito lang would be sufficient enough to solve our problems. Okay? So, try tayo ng ating mga problem solving. Okay. Before I forget, ilagay ko pala dito kung ano yung magiging equation of the ellipse. So, ellipse natin is x minus hk over a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared is equal to 1. Ganun yung itsura ng ating formula ng ellipse. So, a squared natin is nasa x kapag ito yon, nasa along x-axis ang ating major axis. So, pwede din naman ganito yung magiging itsura niya, no? Y minus h squared over a squared plus x minus h squared over b squared is equal to 1. So, pwede din ganun ang maging itsura ng equation of our ellipse. So, pag ganito siya, ito siya. Medyo pa-horizontal siya. Ito naman ganito, medyo pa-vertical naman siya. Ganito yung magiging itsura niya. Okay? Center natin is still at HK. Alright. What is the eccentricity of an ellipse whose length of major and minor axes are equal to 5 and 4 units respectively with center at origin. Center at origin, that's 0.00. And then major axis is equal to 5 and minor axis is equal to 4. Alright. So, madalas nakakalimutan ng mga tao dito is what is this? Okay. So, madalas nakakalimutan ng mga tao dito is yung major axis kasi natin is equal to 2A. Ito naman is equal to 2B. For most times kasi akala nila pag sinabi mo major axis, A kagad yun. 2A ang equivalent ng ating major axis. So, in that sense, ang A natin would be equal to 5 halves. And B naman natin would be equal to 4 over 2, and that is equal to 2. So, center at the origin. So, since hindi niya sinabi dito ano yung itsura ng ating ellipse, dalawa yung magiging possible nating sagot. One is ang major axis natin is along the x-axis, and the other one is ang major axis naman natin is along the y-axis. Yun lang. So, kung may choices naman, check nyo na lang doon ano yung nasa choice, and certainly, isa lang dapat ang nasa choices na yon. Center daw niya is nasa origin. Ito yon. Alright? And then, for a major axis na A, or A over 2, andito si A natin, no? A, ito yon, 5 halves. Ito naman is another 5 halves. Tapos 2, ayan, tapos 2. So, that's our ellipse. Okay. Possible na isang drawing pa natin is ang 5 over 2 is nasa y. Tapos, ang 2 naman is nasa x. So, pwedeng ito, dalawa yung pwede nating maisagot dyan. Both answers should be correct. Standard form natin ulit is x minus h squared over a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared is equal to 1. Or, the other one, y minus k squared over a squared plus x minus h squared over b squared is equal to 1. So, for this first, ito yon sa unang drawing natin. Yung second naman na to, ito naman yun sa ikalawang drawing natin. So, basically, pareho din naman yung itsura nila. Nagkaiba lang sa kung nasaan yung major and minor axis. So, since meron tayong a squared and b squared na nakikita sa formula na yan, computein na lang natin in advance ano si a squared and ang value ni b squared para direct substitution na lang tayo mamaya. So, a squared natin is 5 divided by 2 squared, and that is 25 over 4. Okay. Ito naman is 4. 2 squared is 4, right? Okay. Paunahin natin itong side na to. This form tayo, ha. HK natin, by the way, is our center 0, 0. So, 0 lang naman siya. So, this would now be x squared over yung a squared natin na 25 over 4. Right? Plus, meron tayong y squared kasi 0 din ang k over 4 is equal to 1. O ngayon, i-akyat natin itong, i-reciprocate natin siya para wala tayong fraction sa denominator. That will give us 4x squared over 25 plus y squared over 4 is equal to 1. So, this is the equation of our ellipse. Okay? Dito naman, sa other side, so, unahin naman natin yung y. So, that's y squared over a squared natin is 25 over 4 plus x squared over b squared natin na 4 equal to 0. So, rearrange lang natin siya ulit para halos ganito din yung itsura niya. So, what happens here is 4y squared over 25 siya plus x squared over 4 is equal to 1. Parang nag-swap lang yung x and y. Okay, next question about ellipse. Find the second eccentricity of the curve 9x squared plus 4y squared minus 36x plus 8y minus 8y pala plus 4 equals 0. So we are looking for the second eccentricity. Lagay ko na lang. Second eccentricity given sa atin is 9 squared plus 4y squared minus 36x minus 8y plus 4 is equal to 0. So, ang first natin kailangan gawin dito is i-transform muna natin ang ating equation into the standard form. So, that would be 9x squared minus 36x. This is, ilabas ko na lang yung 9 sa kanila for this one kasi common yung 9. 9x squared minus 4x na lang siya. Tama? Kasi 9 times 4 will give you 36x. Plus, i-complete natin yung square. Yung y naman, ilabas natin yung 4. So that this would be y squared. Yung partner niya is negative 8y. So ito magiging negative 2y na lang. Pag multiply mo ng 4 at negative 2, that will give you negative 8. Plus, yung i-add natin value to complete the square is equal to, may positive 4 tayo na ililipat natin on the other side. Plus, dito ngayon yung in-add mo dito sa first part, and then plus ulit sa in-add mo dito sa second part. So, to complete this square, anong kailangan nating number? Okay, divided by 2 mo itong gitna, tapos is-square mo yan. So, 4 divided by 2 is 2, tapos square mo, that is positive 4. 2 divided by 2 is 1, is-square mo yun, that is positive 1. So, basically, mag-add ka dito, pero ang i-add mo is hindi 4 and 1 lang. What you need to add is 9 times 4. That's 36. And then you need to add 4 times 1 also. That is 4. So that what happens here would be 9 x squared. This would be x minus 2 squared plus 4 y minus 1 squared is equal to, sa kabilang side, 36 na lang ang matitira. Okay? So, anong mangyayari dito ngayon? Yan. Diba ang standard form ng ellipse, dapat naka-equal to 1 tayo dito. Tama? So, magde-divide tayo ngayon ng 36 on all sides. Okay, so dividing everything by 36, we will have x minus 2 squared over 4 plus y minus 1 squared over 9 is equal to 1. So, nasa standard form na tayo ngayon ng ating ellipse. Ellipse ba to? Ellipse to, di ba? Kasi may plus tayo dyan. Naka-positive siya. Pero mamaya, mabe-verify mo naman yung value ng eccentricity. Alright? Pero dito pa lang nga, kasi positive silang dalawa, ellipse talaga ito. Okay? So, what we need to identify here is our second eccentricity. Equation for eccentricity from our mnemonics kanina is EA is equal to C. So, that E is C over A. Alright? Pero ang eccentricity nito, this is our major eccentricity or the first eccentricity. Okay? Ang second eccentricity naman natin, lagay ko na lang E sub 2 is B over A. Which is usually hindi naman siya madalas ginagamit. Pero na-encounter ko lang din siya dati sa mga problems na nasosolve ko. So at least familiar lang kayo. Pag sinabi niyang eccentricity lang, it pertains to this first eccentricity. Pero kung nag-specify siya bigla that ang problem would like to ask for the second eccentricity, then you will be using your B over A. Alright? So basically, we need to find the values of A, B, and C. A is, from here, you have A is equal to 3. Right? This is your A squared and not this one. The higher of the two will serve as your A squared. Taking the square root of 9 will give you 3. And B is 2. To get C, you need to use your Pythagorean Theorem that A squared is equal to B squared plus C squared. So this is 3 squared 9 is equal to B squared 4 plus C squared. So we have here C squared is equal to, or C is equal to the square root of 5. Is that correct? 9 minus 4 is 5. Take the square root. That's square root of 5. So basically, if we want to compute your first eccentricity E sub 1, that is C over A, let us just compute that as well, kahit hindi siya tinatanong, so as to verify lang na ang eccentricity ba natin will really fall under 0 to 1 na range. Okay, that's square root of 5 over 3. And in decimal, we can compute that as, how much is that? 0.75. So indeed, tama nga na ellipse nga ang meron tayo because it falls mismo sa range ng eccentricity ng ellipse. But again, dito pa lang makikita mo na ellipse ang meron ka. Positive yung x natin and positive yung y natin. For second eccentricity, which is yung tinatanong sa problem, B over A, so we have B natin which is 2 and A natin is 3. So this is our final answer. Okay, this is another conic section and we call this our hyperbola. So for hyperbola, ayan, dalawa yung maging pwedeng setup niya. No? It's opening on this side here on the x-axis or it could be opening onto the y-axis. Standard formula niya for opening to the x-axis. No, ganito yung itsura. So this is your x minus h squared over a squared minus y minus k squared over b squared is equal to 1. Alright, then we have, for ganito naman na itsura ng hyperbola, meron tayong y minus k squared over a squared minus x minus h squared over b squared is equal to 1. So, anong meron na mga parts dito? The same with our ellipse, but ito yung center ng hyperbola natin, no? Kung saan yung point of symmetry nila, this would be our center HK. Right? Ito naman yung vertices natin, V1 and V2. And this is our semi-minor axis. This is A. Ayan, ito naman si A natin. Ang C distance natin, ito yung focus, inline sa ating latus rectum. This is F2 and F1. Ang C distance natin is from the focus to our center. This is your C. And ang B naman natin is, ito naman siya. Itong distance na to. Yan. That is our B. So in this case, mas malaki na yung C natin compared to A. Ito na ang magiging Pythagorean Theorem natin relating A, B, and C. C squared is equal to A squared and B squared. So dito parang may makikreate tayong imaginary line. Ganyan yan. Tapos meron ditong tinatawag na asymptote. So si asymptote natin is dadaan siya sa, ganyan siya, no? O hindi lang mukhang asymptote yung drawing ko. Pero, yan. Ito yung asymptotes natin. So we can get the equation of our asymptotes if we could identify at least 2 points lang naman. So we can readily identify naman these points here, the center, Ayan. So, mamaya sa example problem natin, let's try to see kung ano yung magiging itsura ng computations for hyperbola. But still kanina, from our ellipse, applicable pa rin yung dila ng dalawang babae. Yeah. So, this is the question. Determine the equation of the asymptote of this hyperbola. We know na hyperbola to kasi meron siyang minus dito. Right? Ayan na. So, una natin kukunin is, i-draw natin siya, no? So as we can identify our points. But we get first the value of our a squared. A squared is the positive, x squared ito. So, positive na, or the bigger one pa rin yung magiging x squared natin. Alright, so this is 49. And then, a natin therefore would be equal to 7. Then, b squared natin is 36. B natin is equal to 6. So, if i-draw natin siya ngayon, center natin pala is at 0, 0. HK, no? So, if we try to draw this one, facing tayo sa x-axis. So, sa mga ingay na naririnig nyo sa mga videos ko, pasensyahan nyo na guys, kasi I'm not from a very good neighborhood. So, medyo hirap akong mag-record ng maayos. And, yan. Maybe next time maging vlogger na ako. I won't forget paano nyo ako pinagtyagaan. O, ayan na. Ito na yon. So, maglagay tayo ng 6 na increment. Medyo malaki-laki kasi yung drawing natin. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, ito yung ating magiging imaginary box. Babox ko siya ngayon. Ayan. So, yung asymptote natin, dadaan yan dito. Gaganunin ko ha. Ito yung equation of the asymptote na hinahanap. Yan, yung dalawang yan. Yan. So, if we are to draw our hyperbola, dito dadaan si hyperbola. Ito yung vertex, so gaganito ang ating hyperbola. And to the other side, ganun din. Tapos ito din dito. Okay? So, we need to find the equation of these asymptotes. So, hindi mo na siya masyado kailangan talaga, no? I-kompleto pa yung drawing kasi asymptote yung tinatanong. And for us to get the equation of the asymptote, kailangan lang natin ng 2 points on the line. Diba? Principle natin for getting the equation, 2 points, sapat na. So, meron kang 0, 0 sa point na yan. Ito naman, take note, this is at -6. Ito naman is at +7. Ito is at -7. Ito is at +6. So, maybe we can use this point. Ilan ba to? 7, tapos -6. Right? Ito namang point na to is -7, -6. So, for our first asymptote, we can use the points 0, 0, and 7, -6. For the second one naman, we have 0, 0, -7, -6. So, ganun lang siya kasimple. Well, now, we compute for the slope, m. M natin is y sub 2, -6, minus 0, over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So, that would give us 6/7. So, now, given na meron na tayong slope, point slope form na tayo. Y minus y sub 1 is equal to m x minus x sub 1. So, this would be y minus 0, y na lang. And this is 6/7 times x minus 0. X na lang. This is now the equation of one of the asymptotes. Ito yung asymptote na yan. Y is equal to 6/7x. For the other asymptote naman, we need to recompute for the slope. Slope is y sub 2 -6 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. you have here, tama ba ako? Oy, sorry, kanina pala, this should be positive 7. So, the slope here should be negative 6 over 7. I'm sorry. And this should be also negative 6 over 7. Ayan. Tama, diba? Negative slope pag ganyan ang inclination niya. Ito naman is a positive 6 over 7 na slope. So, same pa rin, y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. So, basically, ang equation ng isa pang asymptote natin is y equals 6 over 7x. Y is equal to 6 over 7x. So, yan.